Well, I'm very pleased to be part of this panel and very flattered and honored to be among such incredible, talented judges of Pakistan. The focus of the scope of our panel today is how to deal with the disputes deriving from contracts concluded within the context of the China-Pakistan economic corridor, the so-called CPEC. So many of you might not necessarily be construction law specialists, but this initiative, which is very important for the economy of Pakistan, is relevant for all of us, and especially, all of us in terms of Pakistan. For those who have no knowledge about the CPEC, CPEC is an infrastructure development project within the One Belt, One Road initiative undertaken by the Chinese government in 2013. And to give you an idea of the projects that have been concluded and undertaken under this initiative, we have two agreements that China and Pakistan have concluded to support the funding of those projects. And this is a bilateral investment treaty between China and Pakistan, and then a free trade agreement. An example of the project is, for example, the Sahiwal coal-fired power plant, whose value is about $1.8 billion US. And this is a coal power plant which has been created and completed in October 2017. Another example of a project which is still ongoing and will be completed in 2024 is a Suki Kinari hydropower project, a run-of-the-river hydropower project located in the Kunhar River, and is expected, in fact, to be concluded very soon. So what is relevant as a basic knowledge for these projects is that all the contracts are concluded between Chinese contractors, main contractors, and Pakistani subcontractors. And the FIDIC Red Book of 1999 is often the basis on which these contracts are funded, in fact. And when the contracts related to energy projects, the reference is to the 1999 Silver FIDIC book. And what I will try to explain to you briefly is that both the Silver and the Red Book of FIDIC of 1999 have similar dispute resolution clauses. So they first provide for dispute adjudication boards to be ready to decide any dispute arising out of the contract, out of the project. And those dispute boards must render a decision within 84 days, unless they propose a different time, which is agreed by the parties. But this is a very fast process, and when the decision is rendered, if one party is not satisfied of the decision itself, can actually show its dissatisfaction by sending a notice of dissatisfaction to the other party, and as a result of it, the decision of the board becomes non-final, but remains binding. So if there is any money to be that was ordered to be paid by one party to the other, that order remains binding between the parties. So if there was a notice of dissatisfaction, then the dispute board decision is not final. We go to amicable settlement discussions, and if those discussions also fail, we have an arbitration proceedings. And according to the red or the silver book, the arbitration proceedings are under the ICC rules. So what is quite relevant here is that the issue of the cash flow is very important for subcontractors. And since the subcontractors are going to be from Pakistan, it is important to protect their cash flow and to make sure that whenever there is a decision from a dispute adjudication board, that payment can be enforced. And the issue under the silver and the red book was how you get that decision enforced. And there has been a judgment rendered in Singapore that lasted several judgments, which were rendered clarifying that the arbitral tribunal can render an interim decision, an interim award, to enforce the decision of the dispute board while the arbitration is ongoing. And the result of these decisions rendered by the Singaporean courts in the Persero number 1 and Persero number 2 cases have concluded, in fact, with the fact that the arbitral tribunal can enforce dispute adjudication board decisions by way of an interim relief, and they have also the powers to review and revise the dispute board decisions to reach a final award.